Hey there, it's Tabby, aka Octavia. How y'all doing? How y'all been? Okay, so yesterday, yesterday it came out that the Queen of Cups, which I was supposed to be finding that card to show you, that the Queen of Cups was the leasing front office woman, because I only recall there being one person in charge there over at Audubon Avenue. And she comes out in my deck as the Queen of Cups, as if she is the truth, right? But I noticed when I listen and I hear about it on everybody else's channel, she comes out upside down reverse. And I don't read cards in upside down reverse. I just know that means that that person is not what that card represents. However, we're talking about the government here. We're talking about Department of State and the military, and you got to know that they can do things that we human beings cannot do, right? Okay. So I'm saying that to say upside down reverse could mean that they still could be acting out this card just upside down in reverse. So anyway, my point is that this front office leasing lady, when I stayed in the shelter, Leonard Travis Ferris made her the Queen of Cups, the front office leasing woman, so that he could be the King of Wands throughout the whole entire neighborhood. I don't know, because when I first got to the shelter, Leonard Travis Ferris was not the King of Wands. Some other woman came into the apartment, decided that she was going to redesign the entire apartment, because they had just received the funding. She made Leonard Travis Ferris the King of Wands. And then everything just took off. Oh, his head got real big then. And I was like, how does a 70-plus-year-old man think he's going to be the King of Wands? He can barely get it up. But anyway, that's none of my business. He can barely get it up. So anyhow, what came out last night was that this person, this Queen of Cups energy that was coming out in the deck, was not truly this woman that was in the Audubon Avenue or Colchester condominiums front office leasing person, but it was actually Leonard Travis Ferris pretending to be her. Now, he was pretending to be her so that he could stand in defense against me, so that he could be guarded against me, so that he could be, because what happened was when the other woman from Fairfax County came in to redesign the apartment, and trust me, it needed it. It needed new carpet. That carpet that was in there was so nasty, y'all. I was cleaning it constantly. But anyway, that didn't help, but it made me feel better. Okay? But the carpet still looked nasty. The whole entire condo still looked dirty. Everything was old. Everything was broken down. Everything had years and years and years of like grime and build up and stuff on it. Anyway, all that got removed, and then redid the whole entire place down to the drywall and the studs. Okay. I didn't get to go back to that place. I moved throughout the community into the different condos that the shelter that I was in, Facets, and the county offered towards me. I mean, for me, and when I was in Alexandria. But this was his entire purpose, was just to use her, right, to stand in defense of me so that I could not have a new start, a new beginning, or any type of love. Okay? And the Queen of Wands appeared. And because the Queen of Cups, this is somebody that's kind, that's nurturing, that's, motherly even. But she has her cup of love, which is the one thing. Her cup is filled and she's ready to give it to someone. And he was like, no. So I'll pretend that she's the Queen of Cups in this community and stand in guard and defense against you. Now, how did this happen? This all happened because I was following the rules like how I was supposed to. And even though I was staying in the shelter within the community, I still had to apply to certain apartments and see if I could get, a place. And I had to do a certain amount every week and fill out my little paper and all of that stuff, right? And so what happened was, when the apartments became available within the community that I was already in, I applied. Now that didn't do anything but get this started. That's when Leonard Travis Ferris was like, okay, fine. Now I'm going to spiritually leave this condominium where you are at with the fastest shelter and go over to the front leasing office and make her the Queen of Cups. And when I tell you, this woman was like on me and my children after that. I mean, like that. And anybody that she hired was on me and my children. Like they had the nerve to come knocking on our door. Shoot, not even knocking, banging on our door, complaining about how my son took the trash out. And I was like, what are you talking about? She was like, oh, he left a trail of trash, right? She was like, I have a video. Hold up. You got a video of my son taking the trash out? So I said, I kept telling her, well, I want to see it. I want to see it. Because that sounds set up. You see what I'm saying? That sounds set up. You have a video of my son taking out the trash. Like he takes out the trash randomly. This makes no sense. None. So then when I see the video, I see my son walking down, and it was like somebody was right behind him. Do you see what I'm saying? I see my son go down the concrete sidewalk, go across the street, headed towards the trash can where it was two adult men standing at the trash can at the dumpsters, okay, just standing there in front of the dumpsters, talking, having a conversation. So my son is younger. He throws the bag, it goes in, some of the trash falls back out and gets on the ground. And he runs back because he doesn't look at it. He throws the bag, it goes up, he sees it falling, he turns and he jets off, starts running back towards the building. Now, as he's walking, it's no trash. But then all of a sudden the video flips and then you see, oh, this is from the way that my son went and then back on the concrete and then back to the door. Now, mind you, he was afraid. We had never been in a shelter before, and we hadn't lived in this state in years. So I'm not going to say that he was afraid, but he was being cautious, and he's a kid. You know, who knows what a kid is thinking? Meaning he was like a teen, and who knows what they're thinking? And you watching him take the damn trash out, and we live in the effing hood, and there's trash every effing where, and you concerned about my son leaving trash? I mean, we could open up the damn window and look out the back of the building and it's trash. But you concerned about my son taking the trash out. So that was one incident. Anyway, what happened was, they just wanted to have any and every little thing, to complain about me and the false people that lived in the community wanted me gone. They wanted me out. And I feel as though I really do. I feel as though this is their plan, how they maneuver anytime they get a new family in there that doesn't do what they want. And it felt very highly strategic that everyone was against me. And that's when I started to have a deeper learning and understanding about how they program people to be guarded and defensive and to even do things against me. They don't know me. They've never had a conversation with me. They've never interacted with me. We've never walked past each other and said, well, hello, good morning. You know what I mean? None of that. It's never happened. But they had them all mind programmed and mentally programmed to be against me, to be afraid of me, to not want to include me, to do anything and everything that they could so that they could be like, no, we don't want her here. We don't want her here. Spirit said 5 of Pentacles for those people because they most likely were getting paid to do this stuff. That Queen of Cups energy, she worked in the front office. So she definitely was getting paid, clearly was getting paid. And at the same time, was she manipulated? Was she bribed? Is my question. Was she, you know what I mean? Like, was she paid? Was she being paid under the table? They're like, oh, that's how the card came out. Look, he married her. Spirit says she's his source of income. He married her. They have a household together, one on the other with the 4 of Wands. Okay? He married her. That's what he wanted. Okay? That's what he wanted. And so him coming against me, and I never got approved to have a place there. Nor did they, once they found out, okay, Octavia Flores, and they were like, okay, well, where are you staying at now? When they call you back and so that you can come in. Once they found out that I was already staying there in the shelter, that was the end of the conversation. And now I know why. Because they were like, I can't have you staying here. You're going to really find out the truth about what's been going on, about what we do against these people in that shelter. They would have an ending, Spirit says. They would have an ending and would have to start all over again because they know that they manipulate, betray, backstab, okay, slander. People in the shelter, they're already down bad. Otherwise, they wouldn't be in the shelter. And then they backstab and they betray them. They do all type of stuff to get money. To get money. They get money from something. Yeah. They lie. They fight. They cause confusion. They claim that you've done stuff that you haven't done. Like, you're not allowed to leave the shelter in facets after 9 p.m. But they lied and said that I was outside walking around at like 10:30 p.m. How do I know this? On my phone, I used to always look at my maps. I looked at all of my apps. They lied, backstab, and betray. Anyway, I looked at my maps and the little icon that shows where you're at, it will wander. It will go over here. And I could see it. It was like in the apartment. And then all of a sudden I would see it will start moving to the front of the building, out the building, and start walking. It's not possible. So how are you using my cell phone to GPS track someone, right? To GPS track my Android device? What does that say? What does that say? That they cloned my phone? They cloned my phone and gave it to somebody else. Spirit said 4 cups. Yeah. They cloned my phone so that I wouldn't have any cups of love to put me out. And whomever did this, now they are in this. So anyhow, they lie, backstab, and betray. To make you wait. And to cause you worry, grief, anguish, sorrow, have you overthinking what's going on, what's happening. And I was never in that mode, ever, not ever. Why should I be? Why should I be? Spirit said they do all of this stuff. And this is also mind control, programming, mental magic, right? Glamour spells and stuff probably included with that. And it says they do it because they want the couple, right, with the lover's energy to be with the Queen of Swords. They want the couple to be with the Queen of Swords. And then the kids with the Page of Cups, the kids, right, or the 20-year-olds, 19, 20, could have a new start. So forget you. You don't exist, adult. You don't exist. You're not there. And then they do stuff with the kids. I can't make it up. Page of Wands. They want the kids to be actually inactive, actually active. Why? Because that false family, that 10 of Cups, that false family, they're the ones. They're the ones that do it. It's not really your child. It's that false family. And then, get this, they only want the young people. They don't want the older people. They only want the young people. Page of Pentacles. They only want the young people. Because I don't believe that it's like they don't exist. So that the Page of Pentacles will come move. Okay? Somebody money dried up now. See that 5 of Pentacles? Y'all see it? Okay. Yeah, so the Page of Pentacles will come move in their favor while they do magic and programming and code. And that's what they do in shelters. This is what they do to people. And that does not even include what the military does to people while you're in that shelter. What the military does to people, even worse. Okay? AI, deep fake, or I don't want to say simulated, but AI deep fake dreams to people in the community to make them think that, oh, everybody in the shelter is getting booty banged. Right, Spirit? Knight of Swords. Section 8 program and code through the Department of State. Some swift communication. followed by swift communication. Now, see, he runs in saying something already. And then on top of that, we got the gossiping, the slander, the smear campaign. We got the group chat, the text messages for people who are involved in this community crime. One night stands. One night stands. Night of Cups. Everybody's outside. Night of Cups. Night of Cups energy is outside. That's what he runs in and does. No, outside. Now you can't go outside. 7 of Pentacles here. Okay? Because that's what they invested in. You can't go outside. Look at that. So that the death energy, or the RIP, I should say, because it's not even that it's a death, it's RIP. This is what they do with the false family. What do you mean by RIP? RIP what? It's not rest in peace so much as is your ancestors, your deceased family members, things of that nature, because they still exist. And this false family knows that. They're aware of that. And so what they do is that they want to F them. I want to tell you. Illusions. See how it fell out on top of the Wheel of Fortune? Illusions of them upside down reverse, contacting them so that they can have multiple options. Okay, that's what the card means. But I said, yeah, see, Moon? It's so much to that. And if you're not aware, if I describe it to you, you probably wouldn't believe me. You probably wouldn't believe me. But it's so much to that. You have to be aware of it, right? So anyway, yeah, here's that Four of Cups. For this stuff that they tried to do upside down reverse. Trying to hold on to the adult or myself, right? That was at rest. Trying to hold on to them with the Four of Swords and the Four of Coins. Spirit said, tell a moment. Because you were supposed to pick that person, not watch that person. You were supposed to choose that person. They did not choose me. They decided to go with the kids that go to school, elementary school, high school in that neighborhood. Okay? It wasn't my kids, it was others that they already had found foundations with. And instead, Page of Swords. Instead, they just watched. Oh, I'm just going to watch you, right? Because everybody got social media online. Nobody plans to go into the shelter. You don't have no idea. So, of course, I had social media accounts, and they was just watching me. And they was taking turns watching me 24/7. Somebody in the morning, somebody in the midday, somebody in the afternoon, somebody else in the evening. And they were doing it through the internet, through the Wi-Fi. And it didn't have Wi-Fi in that shelter until after COVID. Fastest shelter, I had the paperwork and I asked people. I said, it says that I can't use the internet and you want me to sign this paperwork. And they were like, oh, let me scratch that out because now it's mandatory. We got to have Wi-Fi in the shelter. They didn't pick me. They were indecisive, right? They were like, oh, I'm inconclusive on, I don't have enough information. I don't know if I can pick this person. I'll just watch them instead. And Spirit said, and now that's revealed. And now they got to be forced to walk away with 8 of Cups here. I don't care if they fucking walk outside. Who else is involved? A Queen of Pentacles here. Okay, so then they had a whole nother household with the Queen of Pentacles. So we got folks that's married to multiple people. Yeah, and they called that justice. But the true justice is that they got to walk away. Okay, so that's what I have for y'all. I wanted to clarify that. And if you haven't watched my last video to find out about this Queen of Cups being fake and fraudulent, they in some type of spiritual marriage. That's what's going on. Because he's married to any and everybody that will allow. Okay, well, just marry him and then you could do the stuff that we're doing. And then they tried to get me. Okay, well, she's got a red phone like how we've got a red phone. I didn't have a red phone. I had a red case, right? Because that was the cheapest one for the phone that I had. I had like a free government phone at that time. And they were like, okay, we'll include her. Who did it? The people at Facet Shelter and the maintenance from Facet Shelter. Because the maintenance from Facet Shelter also sat down in the office that Facets has within the community in another apartment further down from me. Yeah, it's a lot of things that be set up and planned and it's strategic. You stay in a building over here, right? You don't know that Facet's shelter has an office, which is an apartment. But when you walk in, it's set up with desks and people work there, and they next to the laundry room, and it's a whole office, and everything that's happening through the community, of course, goes to these folks in their workplace in a condo, okay? Because it's a condo, it's a condominium community. But yeah, they have a leasing office because some of them are able to be leased, and the others are condominiums personally purchased by people. Anyway, they lying, and they getting, as far as I'm concerned, they're getting tower moments when I see that justice card. Okay, everything gonna be called out when I see that sun card. People gonna be made aware, okay, of the injustice that occurred, because an injustice had to occur to cause justice to occur, to bring balance to people who were slighted, overlooked, neglected, unseen, left out, ostracized for no reason except for their own selfish goals and purposes, using their wand or getting some money, whatever it was. Okay? With the fake ass videos of my kid all manipulated and shit. Anyway, how somebody gonna be right behind him? Like this, my son, and the video was right behind him. And you telling me that he's a child. So that's a grown person following him with two grown people at the damn trash can. That was a whole entire setup. They was waiting. You know how they were waiting? Because they had listening devices in the condominium, listening to anything and everything that I did or was about to do. They knew. They all would come outside. That's probably what it was, so that they could steal and take with the Knight of Cups energy that remains and lives outside. The little demons that they play with outside, the fae and the fairies and whatever entities. And that's why they got entity attachments up over there now. Anyway, I'm not there and ain't been there in years and never going back. And, as far as I'm concerned, they can go up under the ground, okay? For real. For real.